I gotta make a short video response to ViciousDave because his description says, it says here, seriously, if you're still an Apple loyalist fanboy after this video, how can anyone take you seriously? Now, how can anyone take us seriously? Now, I assume that since I'm one of the top 3 Apple loyalist fanboys on the internet or YouTube, that you're almost specifically speaking to me. Not to mention you mentioned my name in the video saying, well, I still like imac. Don't patronize me. Dave, it just seems like you've been completely bitter at Apple ever since that 27-inch iMac has come out. You expressed to me in a PM how upset you was that you just bought your 24-inch iMac just a little while before the 27-inch come out, and the 27-inch was just about the same price as your 24-inch, and you've been completely bitter and trying to bash Apple ever since. And what I say is, please, sell your Mac and get a PC. I'll take the Pepsi challenge with you. Turn that Mac off you got for a month, for 1 month, and just use a PC. And if at the end of that month you want to keep to that PC and not go back to the Mac, then I'll admit I was wrong. Because you need to take a step back and see how using this Mac is helping you. You don't have to buy screen recording software. You got iMovie. You're using Safari. Why aren't you using Firefox? Why do you choose to use Safari? Okay? iTunes, iPhoto. Now, if you go out and get a PC, you're going to have to get photo software, movie editing software. You're going to have to get a screen recorder. You're going to have to pay for a screen recorder. Or you could use Windows Movie Maker to edit your movies. All this stuff you're going to have to get that's going to cost you money to do. It's going to make your life so much. You need to take a step back and realize how easy using this iMac is making your computing life, okay? Because it seems to me you've totally lost sight of the reason you bought an Apple in the first place. Now, I know people's calling you an imac 77 wannabe, and you want to prove to them that you're not an imac 77 wannabe. And this may be one way you can go about doing that, by bashing Apple. But this bullshit about talking how Apple is officially owned because you think they're overpriced, that their hardware isn't innovative, you need to take a step back and realize that the software you like so much is good because of the hardware it's on. They have one configuration, or just a few configurations they have to write that software for. Do you understand? PC, Microsoft guys, they don't know what configuration you got. You could have any kind of custom configuration in the world. But with Apple, there is no custom configurations. They know what configurations you're going to have. Out of the very few that they have available, they know you're going to have one of them. So they only got to write their software to work with those very few configurations. So it's going to be a better experience, and it's going to be more stable. It's going to be more solid. I thought you understood this. We've went over this 100 times in the past. I've got a million videos tearing people's arguments apart about Macs being more expensive when you know they're not. When it comes to build quality and stuff, you know the inside of them look like homemade bombs. As a matter of fact, look at this video you made back in August. Macs are not overpriced, okay? So you talk about in your description about people taking us seriously if we don't think Macs are overpriced after seeing your new video. How can we take you seriously when just a few months ago you was talking about how Macs are not overpriced? One day you're saying you love the Xbox, and the next day you're saying it's a fail. You talk about people taking us seriously. How are we going to take you seriously when you come in here pretending to be an Apple loyal and an Apple purist, and all of a sudden just to turn your back on everybody that helps you in the beginning because you get pissed off and bitter about a hardware price that you paid when a new one come out a little bit cheaper, just a few months after you got yours. Okay? Now, I don't care. You can hate Apple. It's your business, you know. But the only reason I befriended you in the first place is because I thought you was an Apple purist. That's how I am. I'm an Apple purist, and that's just me here on YouTube. I'm not going to make videos defending people if they're not an Apple purist like me. And when I put videos out in the past defending you, yes, it's kind of a letdown to see you now doing this. I would have never stuck my neck out and defended you and risked my reputation on defending you because I got hell about it. Because you wasn't the most well-liked person on the internet. Okay? And even now you're not. You only got 160 subscribers because it seems like you're pissing off the Mac guys and the PC guys. You know, the PC guys are going to say, wait a minute, you was bashing us. And now you're saying Apple sucks, but you're still using an Apple? And the Mac guys are going to say, whoa, wait a minute, I thought you was an Apple fan. Now you're bashing Apple? So you're going to piss off people on both sides. It sounds like you're trying to play both sides off each other. You want to say you love Apple software, but you want to say you love PC hardware. You need to take a stand. Well, no, actually you don't. You don't need to take a stand. I'm just disappointed in myself. You have the right to do whatever you want. And that don't make you a good person or a bad person depending on what you do here, as far as that goes, because that's just opinion. I'm just disappointed in myself for making videos defending you and kind of letting you in to the little inner circle I have here, just to have you do this a little bit later because of some bitter attitude you have about hardware. Because we've went over all this before. Look at this Dell XPS 9000 you're comparing it to. What is that in the middle there, Dave? What is that? Is that a toilet in the middle of that computer? Seriously? Of course the Sony or the Dell Studio XPS is cheaper. Of course it is. Look at it. It's a homemade bomb inside. Don't you get it? We went over this a million times, and I'm not going to go over it anymore. There's more to computers than just specs. You can take the same exact engine and put it in a Mustang, and take the same exact engine and put it in a frickin' Cadillac, and regardless of which one's faster or slower, they probably be about the same speed. One may be a little faster than the other, but you're going to get a totally different experience, even though the specs are the same. And that's the point here, Dave, and I thought you understood this. And this is not necessarily an attack video. I'm just trying to put out there to all my Apple followers that don't fall for Dave's shit. Okay, this is ridiculous. Enough of this fence riding, and enough of changing, enough of saying one thing is good one day and then saying the next day the same thing sucks. You can't get on camera one day and say Apple's great, and then the next day say Apple sucks. Then the next day get on camera and say Xbox is great. Then the next day get on camera and say no, the PS3 is better. You need to kind of take a stand, Dave, because your new subscribers ain't going to know where you stand at. This new Apple officially owned and pawned video, yeah, I think you've officially owned and pawned yourself, because like I said before, I've got tens of videos, well not tens, but I got quite a few videos debunking how Macs are overpriced, because there's just more to it than specs. There's experience, there's build quality, there's the support and ecosystem and warranties that go with them. I think with Dell you get a limited warranty. It's all bullshit, Dave, and you know it. And you're just a bitter individual because you spent money on an iMac, and if you would have waited, you could have got something a little bigger, a little better for about the same money. And I do think you're bitter because I think you take advantage of the Apple software and hardware, and then you get on camera and bash them because you're pissed. Like I said before, I'll repeat myself, you need to take a step back and see how much this Apple is benefiting you. What you would have to do if you switch to the PC. Go ahead and get your PC hardware and go out and buy your screen capture app and movie and photo editing and all that good stuff, and then use it for a month without turning your iMac on. And then at the end of that month, if you want to keep that PC and you say, I don't need to turn my iMac back on, then I'll admit I was wrong. But I don't see you turning off that iMac for a whole month and just using the PC, and then at the end of that month saying, oh, PC's better. I don't think you will, and I think you know you won't too. I think you're just wanting to gripe for the sake of griping because you're pissed. The video you made is completely, it's been debunked before, so I'm not going to sit here and go through an 18-minute video just to say the same things that I've said before. Educate yourself by going and watching my previous videos on the subject, please. We'll see you guys next time. OS 10, brothers.